As you can see from the title of this video, I'm elaborating on how youth is just so goated and it is just uncapped potential besides, your genetics capping it. But what do I mean by this? Well, number one, it is looks maxing potential. But yeah, when you're young, your looks maxing potential or just any potential in general. Your bones are way more malleable, your sutures are still open, your growth plates are open. Dude, being young, being below the age of 18 is just unsealed potential. Literally, if you think about it, growth plates, it's called epiphyseal plates. Like, it will seal up at some point. It will seal up once estrogen does its job. Also, another thing I forgot to put in my height video, it is aromatase inhibitors. So basically, you're taking in something like aromacin, or I'm going to put down other pharmaceutical compounds right here that will block aromatase. But the thought process is that estrogen will close your growth plates. And that's why men are taller than women, because estrogen closes your growth plates faster. Now think of it as this. If you were to nuke your estrogen, you're gonna prolong your time period of your growth time headroom to be lengthened unnaturally. And remember, we don't care if it is natural or not, we just want results. And this will result in more growth time, or more of a time for you to grow with your epiphyseal plate still open. Another thing about looks maxing potential for puberty is that, well, puberty is kind of like a natural steroid. It is the chance to basically put on a lot of muscle, which you can't really put on compared to when you are an adult. People who hop on steroids, they say that, well, when they hop on, they feel like they hit their second puberty, or puberty-like results where they feel very sexually stimulated or very sexually optimistic. And so they feel like they're 16 again. It is just your body on ultra performance mode. And if you think about it, this is a very good chance to go to the gym and work out. Besides that point number two, your love life, which is around the ages of middle school and high school. And this is where the just be first theory comes in because, well, when women have an inherent higher SNV, they have to become way more picky. And when they have more partners as the ages go, well, they're going to be more pickier. They want a man who's taller. They want a man who's better looking. They would not settle for less. They want to outdo their exes. So if you're short, or if you just are fundamentally sort of cooked, if you have a very wide IPD, or if you have a highly recessed jawline, well, middle school and high school is kind of the only chance where you're going to have real love. Unless if you have a lot of money or status, right? But then that's not real love. But then again, what people usually want at the end of the day is kids and sex, or any of the other between those two. Just kids or sex, or both, in a way where you want to have kids, you want to have sex. I mean, that's just human nature. I don't think I need to elaborate deeper on this. This is pretty common sense. But yeah, high school and middle school is the best way to be a girl's first love prospect. Of course, looks still do matter, but it is slightly more blue-pilled compared towards high school and college, where women become ever so much more hypergamous. The reasoning for this is the supply and demand of sperm and eggs. A man can have 365 children in a year if he can. A woman can only have one child a year, or one child per 9 months, right? That's if she's constantly having sex. So as you can see that it is extremely evolutionarily efficient if the woman were to be very selective on what mate she's going to choose, because she cannot settle for less. And if she does, other women can just withhold their eggs to hit better, okay? To hit big. And if you think about it, women have to go through pregnancy, which puts them at a highly vulnerable state. Women have to go through the pain of pregnancy, which hurts hella. Women have to also face some consequences of having the potential to be harmed and murdered. If you don't know, a lot of pregnant women are killed not by strangers, but by family members, actually. So if you think about it, women are actually very prone to danger when they are pregnant. So they have to make the most out of the 9 months. Because if a woman were to mate with a and another woman is less attractive than her, but she conserves her eggs for a Chad, right? Well, the less attractive woman's kid will outcompete the more attractive woman's kid because she was hypergamous. And this is how nature is perfect in mating proficiency in a way where we need the most optimal way to pass down worthy genetic material so we can survive. And that's how organisms survive. So this is a double-edged sword because now we are living in more of a civilized community. We don't need to really rely on these instincts anymore, but these instincts are ever so powerful and prevalent in our genetic code. The remnants of humanity, it is chiseled and etched in our very being to act this way because we needed to survive. And the ones that didn't survive, they didn't get to pass on their genetic material. And same with men. Men are more optimistic. Men have more drive. Men want to go out and conquer and spread their seed as much as possible. This doesn't matter if this woman is unattractive or highly attractive. If a man mates with a less attractive woman, that's still a chance for his offspring to prosper and live. And guess what that means? A higher chance of his genetics being propagated into the future. Thus, this is the reason why men want to spread their seed, because the men who didn't, they didn't get to pass on their genetic material to have the instinct to spread their seed. So only the evolutionary efficient ones passed on their genetic material because they had the instinct to pass on their seed and to mate with women who are not attractive, to maximize their genetics being propagated to the future. And this is the thing with a woman who are in college, right? Once they want to outdo their exes. When she looks at you, Jordan Peterson said this in a very good way.
There's nothing that will make a man more self-conscious than being rejected. And why? Because why is he rejected? Well, obviously, Mother Nature, in the guise of that particular woman, has said, you're not so bad for a friend, but there's no reason that your genetic material should propagate itself into the future.
But Mother Nature does not give a fuck about your feelings. Mother Nature only cares about efficiency of survival. Us humans, we are survival mechanisms. We are survival machines. We're made to survive. We're made to adapt. We're made to be evolutionary efficient to pass down our genetics. The genetics that are worthy of being passed down so we can have a better chance at survival. Because the difference between survival and death comes down to genetics and environment. But if you can't have genetics, you're still going to have a way less of a chance to survive, which is brutal. The third reason why being so young is so great is because love, personal relationships will feel more raw, more immature, more genuine. Whilst when you get older, you have to put up more of a mask to make other people perceive you as the persona you want to convey out to the public. Status matters now. Your aura matters more. When you were young, you just cared about video games, having fun, sunshine, and rainbows. But now when you get older, you're going to be grounded and be more depressed by the truths of life, which it will hand you in many different ways. Whether if your parents want to sit you down and talk to you about some stuff of any concept of any kind, or if life gives you a brutal beating and a lesson for you to understand so you can learn or cope. In life, you either have to learn, adapt, or cope and stay in willful ignorance. So, this is why being young, the ages of 13 to 18, is your golden age of genuinity and uncapped looks-maxing potential. Please take this chance to at least take a risk. Please, before it is too late. Of course, for college, there's still many different networking opportunities, but it's just going to not be as much as high school or middle school. So please, take this into consideration. Take this seriously. Also, I would like to apologize for being so emotional or so passionate with my speaking today. But this is because I really do care for people who do not understand what type of privilege that they have, what type of unsealed potential that will sooner or later become sealed. And seeing a person fret over something that will be permanently closed is such a sad sight to see. So I'm sorry if I come off as too passionate or emotional, which is a semi-feminine trait, which will reduce my credibility as a person in this community. I honestly would care less because I only care for the people who would take this seriously and take the advancement to take it upon themselves to level up. If you're naturally gifted and you don't fall short in any of these categories, good for you. This video is not for you. But this video is for anybody who falls short in each of the 4 categories, or any of the 4 categories. So please, all I want you to do is to take upon yourself to improve. And once you've watched this video, if you end up regretting not trying to improve when you're 25, when you're 30, when you're 40 years old, well, that fucking sucks for you because you didn't take my advice to even try to improve on the places where you lack in. But yeah, but don't take what I'm saying too literally though. I'm just saying that your chances are way higher, but on the other end of the spectrum, don't think that this will make it guaranteed 100% that you're going to have a mate or that you're going to have a relationship. Maybe not, but it's definitely the highest that it will ever be in your life before that chance is gone, reduced to atoms, molecules. If you get that reference, you're goated. But besides that point, follow me on social media, of course, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's it for the video. Peace out.